We have a robust set of options when it comes time to export, so let's take a look at an overview on these workflows. We might have clips in our bin that we want to transcode to another file type. We can right-click on a bin that contains bin items and choose Export. The export window will open and we'll have the option to process as clips. Note that the other options are grayed out as we chose to export by selecting a bin. And we have options to transcode the clips. There are various presets that we can use while adjusting any relative settings to the output. Let's select Transcode DPX preset and copy it. Let's name this Transcode Clips to EXR and Proxy. The output is set to write to our project root, but we can modify this to a hard-coded path if needed. The export structure will allow us to add multiple tasks and plan out how the structure will lay out on disk. Currently, we have the word bin path in curly brackets. This is one of the many tokens we can use to auto-generate naming. In this case, the bin path will mimic the folder structure of where the clips live on disk, including all the subfolders up to the project. We can write back to the same folder, or we can branch off. That's one of the tokens. If we hover over any of this area, we can see a list of all the tokens available for folders and file names. Tokens such as shot name, date, and version will come in handy. Below our folder, we have a file. The file is using a clip token, so it will be named the same as the source clips. There will be a frame padding of 4, followed by an extension. We can add any additional text and tokens in here as well if we want to modify the name. Below here, we have a preview of what our output will look like, with the option to adjust the version if we're using version token. The content section is set to transcode images. There are multiple content options depending on the task. We can set up our transcoding options, including reformatting for when we make proxies, retiming, timeline effects, annotations, audio, burn-in information, and Nuke script options. Hiero will make a temporary Nuke script behind the scenes when we transcode. We have the option to keep that file. Now, to run this process, you don't need a Nuke license. We can read all lines from our input when it's available. We'd want to use this on I/O heavy exports. We want to make a proxy for each of our clips, so first we're going to add a folder and use the clip token for our full resolution clips. Let's move those files into the folder. Now let's create another folder under the parent and use the clip token and hardcode the word proxy. Now let's create a file. We can manually name or copy and paste a naming convention from our full resolution, and then add any text. From the content, we want to transcode images. Again, we'll set up the file options, and this time under Reformat, we will choose the format. We can use a preset, or custom format, or use the scale. We will scale to half size and turn on any additional options if needed. We can set a custom start frame or use the start frame from our source. We're now ready to run the exporting process using Hiero's background task renderer. We can run multiple processes to speed up the render times. We can also use a single process. We can adjust the multiple process behavior from our preferences. If we have a render farm connected to Hiero, then we will also have an option for our farm manager where it will run the tasks. Once we export, our export queue will show the progress.